Hey guys, it's Will here, back with another battle report. After our very close game a few days ago with myself and Sam's Tyranids, we decided to have a rematch. So once again, my Salamanders will be taking on his High Fleet Kraken using the Leviathan rules. But he's changed his list up a bit. I can see he's got a Tervagon and a Toxicrene added to his list. But yeah, I'll be running the same list. It's going to be 1750 points Maelstrom of War again. And yeah, we've rolled up Cloak and Shadow, so it's Hammer and Anvil deployment with 3 objectives each that are kept secret. So anyway, without further ado, let's have a look at the armies. So if you saw my last battle, you'll be familiar with this list, but I'll just give you a quick rundown. I've got a Gladius Strike Force, so leading my Demi Company is going to be Vulcan and Stan, and then I've got 3 tactical squads. First one is 10 guys, Melter, Combi Melter, Multi-Melter in a Rhino. Second one is Flamer, Combi Flamer, Heavy Bolter in a Rhino. And the third one is just the 5 guys with a Flamer, and that's supposed to be a Combi Flamer, but I've actually left the Combi Flamer model at home. So just the 5 dudes there in the Razorback with the las cannon upgrade. Then I've got 5-man Devastator squad with missile launchers. Pair of land speeders with multi-melters and heavy flamers, and a couple of dreadnoughts with multi-melters and extra armour. Then for my auxiliary choice, I've got a first company task force consisting of 3 Stone Guard squads, each 5-man in drop pods. First one has 2 combi melters and a melter gun. Second one has 3 combi melters, and the third one has 2 heavy flamers and a combi flamer. And that's 1750 points of Salamanders, giving me access to objectives secured on all my choices that are in the camera here, and yeah, use of the Tactical Doctrine twice and the other 2 once each. Anyway, let's go and have a look and see what Sam's brought for his Tyranids tonight.
So here's my 1750 of Tyranids. A few changes since last time. I've still got my Winged Hive Tyrant. I haven't rolled for his War Trait or Psychic Powers yet. Just in front of him I've got my 2 Venom Throats, still a single unit. The new addition, the Toxicrene. Spent my Saturday build and paint him, so I'd get him ready. 3 Zone Throats, including a Neuro Throat. Still got 1 Exocrine. Then I've got all my infantry. 20 Hormigants with Adrenal Glands, 15 Termagants with 5 Devourers, 15 Termagants, 5 Devourers, 20 Hormigants with Adrenal Glands, and 15 Gargoyles. And then I've added my Tervagon in. That was my Sunday work, so I spent all day, all weekend painting models. And I've got 5 warriors there just to back it up. So yeah, that's it. Upgrades on the Tervagon. He has Cluster Spines and that's it. And the Toxicrene has a Adrenal Glands. So that's my 1750. On to deployment.
Okay, so this time Sam won the roll off the first turn, and as you can see with the end-to-end deployment it was a bit crowded getting it all in. Key thing to note is right in the back line there is his Venom Throats, starting near the Hive Tyrant, Exocrine and Zone Throats, giving everyone shrouded, so that's going to make the core of that army very hard to crack. Then over here the Toxicrene also has shrouded, so he's going to be a hard nut to crack. As we move across the board, we can see we've got a whole load of gaunts, warriors in the back in support, horny gaunts with termagants behind, the new Tervagon right in the centre there, ready to spawn out even more gaunts. We've got more gaunts there, Zone Throats behind, and then the Gargoyles moving down the flank. So a lot there, and it's going to be a tough nut to crack, because wherever I hit, it's going to have 2 or 3 other things ready to surround me. I've gone for a much more compact refused flank deployment, using up barely half the board. Land speeders at the back in cover, devastators in the building on the objective, and then here I've got my small tactical squad with Vulcan, got 2 dreadnoughts, Melter tactical squad and Flamer tactical squad all up ready to move forward, and both of these large squads will be combat squadding, and in reserve I've got the 3 Stern Guard units in drop pods. But anyway, Sam has the first turn at the moment, but as ever I'm going to have a crack at stealing the initiative. Here we go. Nope, it's a 2. Initiative not stolen. Sam's rather relieved about that, and we go into Tyranid, turn 1. So, Tyranid turn 1 consisted mostly of the whole army surging forward in one multi-legged mass towards my lines. Tervagan managed to spawn out 9 termagants, but rolled a double, so he ain't spawning no more. And in the psychic phase, he managed to get Catalyst off of the Tervagon, giving him Feel No Pain and transferring it to that. And with the Hive Tyrant transferring it to that Formahawk Brood, so lots of Feel No Pain to deal with. Shooting phase was 1 single attack. Hive Tyrant, who was leading the charge, repped that Rhino. The 2 squads in there got out because they're combat squadding. These guys are fine. The other squad are peanuts, so a bit of a pain there. That's got him first blood, and he's also secured objective 3 and objective 2 for points, and discarded secure objective 6 because it's rather close to a big concentration of marines. So yeah, a lot of this army is still gaining cover or flying or Feel No Pain, so it's going to be a tough nut to crack. But I've got 2 drop pods coming in, and yeah, for the Emperor! So I started turn 1 with 3 copies of Secure Objective 1. I think I need to shuffle my deck a bit more there, but that was bang smack in the centre, right where the termagants had just spawned. I started by trying to take the Tyranids apart from the back. 2 drop pods come down. The first one, Heavy Flamers, barbecues the Venom Thrips, really needed them out of there, and that's that job done. Then the other squads came down and shot the Zone Thrips with Hellfire rounds, but unfortunately only managed to succeed in doing 3 wounds. So yeah, they're still going to be a threat next turn, and we've got all of this still to deal with. Most of my shooting was concentrated on trying to clear the gaunts off the objective so I wouldn't have to turbo boost my land speeders. But as you can see from the fact my land speeders are there, I didn't manage to kill all the gaunts. Devastators had Devastator Doctrine up this turn, managed to put 12 hits on them with frag missiles, but didn't do barely any wounds in the end after cover saves and night fighting, etc. This tactical squad did a couple of wounds, and the Dreadnoughts put a couple of wounds onto the Tervagon, but they were both saved. Landspeeder's last cannon put a couple of wounds on, put a wound on the Zone Thrips, so that was saved. So really a combination of invuln saves and cover saves screwed my plans over that turn. But I did just turbo boost my land speeders up in the end to secure 3 copies of Objective 1 and draw level on 3-3 as we head into Tyranid, turn 2. Okay, so that was an absolutely brutal turn for the Tyranids there. The Hive Tyrant very much led the charge as he flew over here right into my back lines and let off Psychic Scream, which did it's like a 6-inch Nova power similar to Psychic Shriek, killed one of my Devastators, the whole of that combat squad, and most of that combat squad. He then swung round and fired his twin-linked barrels into the Dreadnoughts and wrecked one of them. So a nasty little bugger there. The only consolation is that he did perils on one of his psychic tests, and then failed so he took a wound, and then subsequently failed his crash test, so took another wound from that. So he is now on the ground, so he's due to die this turn, but ouch, that was nasty. Other than that, over the back lines, both my Stern Guard squads got wiped out. The Tyranid Warriors and this Termagant Brood teamed up to deal with that one, who I think were eventually finished off by the Exocrine. You had to take 2 units to take them down. And then over here, the Gargoyles and the Termagants fired on the other Stone Guard squad and wiped them out. So, yeah, nasty little turn. And then he finished it off, wiping out both the land speeders with the firepower of the Termagants, backed up by the Tervagon, and then charging the second one with the Hormagaunts. So yeah, ouch, nasty turn. Points wise, you got Blood and Guts and Secure Objective 3, but has left my army really on the back foot now. So I've got one more drop pod to come, and it's still only turn 2, so let's see if the Space Marines can come back from this. So, pretty good Salamander turn there. I'll tell you now, my objectives were 6, which is down here, 2 over the far side there, and 3 in the back lines. So, an extra Stone Guard squad came down here, claimed objective 3, and killed all bar 1 of the Tyranid warriors. So that was a nice little start for the turn. And then this Rhino, half the squad got out, so 1 combat squad to there, and half stayed in. The half that stayed in had the melter weapons, and as you can see there's no more Hive Tyrant there, so good work there. Vulcan and his squads, together with that tactical squad, proceeded to wipe out this Hormagaun group to secure me 6, and the Devastators thinned out the numbers of the Hormagaunts, did 21 hits, but only killed 5 in the end, and a further one from this dude who's the survivor of the earlier tactical squad. Other than that, Las Cannon failed to finish off the Tyranid warrior. Dreadnought ran but only got an inch, so he's not really got close to his quarry. But yeah, numbers are thinning out a bit. I've got Warlord and I've scored objectives 3 and 6, so that's pretty good. I think I've actually taken the lead on points, but there's still far too many bugs on this board for my liking as we head into Tyranid turn 3. Okay, so Tyranid turn 3. These Hormagaunts and Termagants all started swarming my line, and the Toxicrene made a beeline for my Warlords. And Gargoyles swung around the back here to get in range of the Stone Guard. Now, unfortunately, his shooting wasn't quite as effective as it had been in previous turns. He attempted to Psychic Shriek these guys with the Psychic Shriek the Stone Guard with the Zone Threats, but they actually passed their leadership test on 3d6. So, woo, yay! He then shot them with the Gargoyles and the Exocrine. Shot them with the Gargoyles and the Tyranid warrior that survived for a total of 1 wound before assaulting them with the Gargoyles. And they actually held their ground. Didn't take any wounds in combat, did 4 back to them, but the Gargoyles were in Synapse range, so they weren't running. Down in the middle here, these Termagants and the Tervagon and these Termagants shot for these 2 isolated tactical squads in the centre. As you can see, the single dude on his own is now dead. That was actually the assault of the Termagants that did that. Both of these tried to assault this squad after shooting them, but didn't make it in, but they're nastily depleted now. And the Hormagaunts made it into combat with the Rhino, but only managed to put 2 hull points on it. Big showdown was the Toxicrene, who can turn around now. His arms just wouldn't let him get in where he logically should be. There we go, he's massacred back a little bit out of that combat. Basically, he made it into combat with Vulcan and killed 3 tactical marines and put a wound on Vulcan. Took 2 wounds in return, so he's got 3 left. And then Vulcan wisely fell back from combat. But yeah, that Toxicrene should hopefully be dealt with next turn by the Dreadnought. Points-wise, Sam was only actually able to score Secure Objective 5. And what was the one you discarded? 4. And discarded Objective 4 because it's right up here. So that brings it back to level pegging as we head into Salamanders turn 3. Okay, so now the Tyranids are in my optimal range, it's time for the counter-attack. Razorback moved forward and tried to shoot the Tervagon for no real effect. The Dreadnought was the big player, advanced up, got into combat with the Toxicrene. Now, Sam was a little bit unlucky here. He got a strength 10 hit on me with his smash, but only managed to roll a 2, so only a glancing hit there, and then the Dreadnought's 5 attacks and Assault Doctrine just minced through the Toxicrene. Real shame, that Toxicrene had done a good job. So almost a shame to see him die, but I'm glad to have that threat with my flank. Over here, the tactical squads, obviously Vulcan rallied with his squad. These two combined to wipe out the Hormagaunts, and these guys thinned out that Termagant brood. And then the Devastators opened up on the far Termagant brood with their frag missiles and killed a good chunk of them. But all these squads that I'm killing are not running away because they're all fearless thanks to Synapse. Other than that, the drop pods fired at the one remaining Tyranid warrior. Really needed to kill him because I had supremacy as my objective this turn, and yeah, killing him allowed me to score that. And then in the combat over here, I killed another 3 gargoyles for no damage in return. So that's starting to look quite good now. We've scored secure objective 3 over there, and supremacy because I'm holding that one, and number 3. Versus him just holding one objective. And I rolled a 6 for my score on that, so that's 3 points, which puts me into the lead. Discarded psychological warfare because Tyranids don't tend to run away. And yeah, on the whole, a really good turn. I was really pleased with how the army got on. But it's certainly not over yet. Not over till the fat lady makes it into melee. So, although their numbers are thinning, the relentless horde of Tyranids is still pushing across the board. The first thing he did was to deal with my Dreadnought in revenge for its kill on the Toxicrene. Actually, it was about there, wasn't it? The Zoanthropes first off tried to spirit leech the squad in the building, but failed. Passed the psychic test, but it was denied, and then warp lanced the Dreadnought, exploded it, killed like 6 or 7 Termagants in the process, but that scored him his first point of the turn, which was Big Game Hunter. Then the Termagants fired on the tactical squad in the building, leaving them with just 1 survivor falling back, and Vulcan's squad were shot by the Exocrine, killed 2 of them. Vulcan passed his armor save, there's an in-run save, he's still got 2 wounds left, but he's falling back as well, although thankfully he'll rally next turn. And over here in this combat, I lost 2 more Stern Guard, but managed to kill another 5 gargoyles, so it's thinning out there, and I think the Stern Guard might just edge it in the end, but it's a close fought thing. So, oh, and the Tervagon tried to charge this guy, but failed his charge. Points-wise, Sam got Big Game Hunter for the Dreadnought, secure objective 6 with the Termagants, and harness the warp, which was kind of a given for the Tyranids. So things are still running pretty close as we head into the 4th Space Marine turn. So as we head into turn 4, I haven't got many models on the table, but I've got an interesting selection of objectives. Scour the Sky is going to be discarded at the end of the turn because his only flyer's already dead. But Secure 5 and Behind Enemy Lines were certainly both doable. Behind Enemy Lines, this drop pod's doing it automatically, as is this one, and I just needed the Stern Guard to survive. As it was, they finally finished off the what they called gargoyles in combat, and well, one left alive who was just out of Synapse range. He fled and was cut down, so I've consolidated back to there, and that's a D3 points, which I'm just going to roll now on camera. That's a 5. So that's another 3 points. Excellent. So points are racking up nicely for the Marines here. But numbers-wise, I just had this tactical squad left alive with Vulcan, who rallied and joined them. They shot the Termagants and killed a couple of them. The Devastators fired at the Zoanthropes and finished off the Neurothrop, but the other one's still alive. And this one surviving tactical Marine killed off the one surviving Termagant there. So, yeah, that's not much damage, but it's a start. And then the Razorback pushed up to secure me objective 5, so that's another 4 points. So although we're depleted, we're edging out a nice lead now as we head into the 5th and potentially final turn. So, Tyranid turn 5 started with the Exocrine moving up towards the Razorback. He then subsequently cast Onslaught from the Zoanthrop onto the Exocrine, which moved up even further and shot the Razorback. Only did 1 hull point though, so that's still alive and securing this objective thanks to the Demi Company rules. Over here, the Tervagon had a crack at shooting Vulcan's squad, hit dead on, but only managed to do 1 wound despite only needing 3. So that was bad luck there. And then the Termagants managed to kill 1 with their shooting. Over here, these few Termagants only managed to put a few wounds on this guy, and he managed to pass both his saves. So quite an unlucky turn for the Tyranids there. Ended up with just securing Objective 1 and discarding Objective 4 for the 3rd time this game. So yeah, after a promising start, it's gone south fast for the Tyranids, but it ain't over yet. Let's see what turn 5 for the Space Marines brings. So turn 5, I had the good fortune to draw Kingslayer, which again already scored because the Hive Tyrant is gone, so B3 for that, and that's just a 1 this time, but that's alright. Other than that, I was just trying to finish off the last few bugs. The Devastators and this tactical squad and that survivor there all shot for the Tervagon, but unfortunately failed to do anything more than 1 wound to it, thanks to his cover save and Catalyst being cast on him. And over here, the 1 surviving Sternguard Marine, all 3 drop pods, and the Razorback, all shot for the zone through and did a grand total of 1 wound. So not a great turn damage-wise, but thanks to OBSEC on the Razorback, I've got secure Objective 5, and I've got a point for Kingslayer, so points-wise, we're doing pretty good. Now, I am running out of Marines fast here, so I really could do with this game ending right about now. End of turn 5, does it end? Yes, it's a 2. Game over. Thank you very much, sir. Let's count up those points. So, when all is said and done, it ends up being 17 points to the Space Marines, thanks to Linebreaker and Slay the Warlord, and unfortunately only 10 for the Tyranids. So, good solid Marine victory there. I'm actually quite surprised. End of his 2nd turn, I thought he had me. I was going to get steamrolled, and this was going to end up being called at the end of turn 4 or something, but then mid-game I had some really good objectives. He had a couple of really bad turns of bad luck, and just the survivability and resilience of the Salamanders has shone through here. Nids has certainly got a lot still left on the table though. Another couple of turns and I'd be in danger of losing my whole army again like I did in the last game. So yeah, well played to Sam there. You certainly had me on the back foot from the start, and your dice and your cards let you down again, mate.
Wasn't so much dice, it ebbed and flowed, but yeah, a few key moments. Not killing a Rhino when I had Big Game Hunter in my hand with 15 gaunts.
Oh yeah, with those Hormagaunts, they should have taken it down because they were 3 attacks each, 14 of them, strength 4. Should have done it.
And every time I came to do a charge or something critical came up, I'd fall just short, or you would flee, and it was just a constant mess up with my plans and what I wanted to do.
I have to say, you played your monsters very well. You kept your big monsters to cover, so with night fighting on turn 1, first turn it was just not even worth shooting them. And even then, with 4+ cover, 5 up invuln, or 5 up feel no pain, they were just a pain to take down. I mean, in the end, I've done no damage to your Exocrine and 1 out of 6 wounds to your Tervagon.
Yeah,
I
mean, you had some good luck. I mean, back here with the Sternguard, 4 Sternguard versus 15 Gargoyles.
Yeah.
Gargoyles on a charge. It really should have gone the other way.
Yeah, I say the odds in a few places went in my favour when they really shouldn't have done.
Not that it would have made a big difference. You drew 2 D3s where I didn't.
Yeah, and then rolled 6s for each of them.
Yeah. You even got the Kingslayer point, which you could have rolled a 6 for.
And you lost your Warlord early on as well.
Yeah, he died to a Perils pretty much.
Yeah, so that Perils gave him a wound, which then made him fail his grounding test, which then made him easy play for my Melters. So yeah, that was unfortunate. So certainly not a bad army. Tyranids, they struggle. It's like you said earlier. It's kind of like playing 40k on hard mode. But
this guy I'm unimpressed with, though. Unfortunately, Exocrine.
Exocrine, yeah. But your new guy did kind of well till he got.
He did all right, and Toxicrane was all right.
Yeah.
For 170 points, I don't know if there's something better I could get.
Yeah, I don't know. There's certainly a lot in the book. You have to have a think about it.
Don't want any more infantry.
Yeah, no, you don't need any more infantry, that's for sure. But yeah, good game. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. This is going to be the last video I probably get to do with my Salamanders before the Angels of Death supplement comes up. So look out for that in the very near future. I mean, by the time this is edited, this video may even end up coming out after Angels of Death. So keep eyes posted for that, and I'll see you again soon for another battle. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.